Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome back to the Winter campaign in Arkham Horror, the card game. We're on to the second scenario of the campaign in the drowned city, Obsidian Canyons. First up, let's set the scene for this one before we tab into TTS. Checking the campaign log, we headed east. So we proceed to Obsidian Canyons 2. The streets of Relay are flooded with stagnant water and a foul, bilious smell you cannot identify. After spending hours making little progress from where you made landfall, you find a climbable path up to the summit. Using your rope and a little climbing gear, you reach the nearest vantage point. The ancient dome beckons to you in the distance. Just don't look down, Ruby says. If you fall, I'm not peeling you off the ground. Proceed to the Obsidian Canyons 3, Obsidian Canyons 3. The alien city sprawls for miles. Chunks of broken spires are suspended in the air above collapsed towers, and colorful reefs hang from the undersides of ancient bridges. Decaying wrecks of ancient ships lean precariously atop the obsidian spires, swaying gently. You and your companions stare in awe at the unbelievable landscape. A gale-force wind nearly sweeps you off your feet. You steady yourself and look to the south to see dark, angry storm clouds crackling with green energy. The breeze reaches a howling crescendo, then suddenly dies down. The landscape below seems to rearrange as miasmic clouds bend and swirl. Your head swims. When you look back at the horizon, the skyline has changed entirely. If any investigator has dreams of destruction or prove your worth, resolve those tasks now. Neither one of our investigators does. Since we headed east, I set up with that in mind. So now we can tab into TTS. And look at what we've got here. Heading into TTS, we'll refresh our memory first on our tarot reading. On the good side, we left Strength 8. When the game begins, each investigator may play an asset from their hand at -2 cost. And on the bad side, we've flipped Judgment 20. When the game begins, flip the highest non-negative token in the cast bag with a skull. Swap them back after the game ends. So let me go up here. So we'll swap out a plus. Hold on. This should have been a. Okay, hold on. I wanted this to be an easy bag. Let's see. So we need another. All right, so the -3 and the -4 need to come out. One of those is going to be... Let's see, the -3 and the -4 are out. Let's see, one is going to be... let's see, 3 zeros. Okay, no, one's going to be a 0. The other is going to be a skull, because remember... Per our tarot reading, we are swapping in a skull. Now let's see if I can find where the... Oh, here we go. So we need... where did those get copied to? I don't think those copied where I wanted them. Okay, let's do it this way. There we go. Okay. Now we're all set to go. So we did have to swap those out, which I've just done that. Our two unique twists are we've got Open Sky. Throughout the scenario, you'll be instructed to place Open Sky cards by taking the encounter cards gathered during setup and placing them in indicated positions face down, which they've actually made Open Sky for us here. Okay. Now I wish this was actually scripted to do acts 2 and 3, but I can't really complain at this point. Anyway, let's see. Open Sky counts as a location for the purposes of card effects, location adjacency, and determining distance. We can't move into Open Sky unless otherwise indicated by scenario. Open Sky can't be investigated and clues can't be dropped. We got to pick the nearest open location, nearest revealed location for that. Locations can enter play in a position occupied by Open Sky. Should this happen, the Open Sky occupying that position leaves play. If Open Sky leaves play for any reason, place it on top of the Summit deck. Don't place it in the discard pile. Everything there is discarded. And then for the Summit deck, cards are always drawn from the bottom of the Summit deck, which I've specially made a control for that. Encounter cards from the Summit deck are always placed face down. If a gap between locations and or Open Sky is created for any reason and not immediately filled via scenario card instructions, fill that gap with the bottom card of the Summit deck. Face down if it is an encounter card, or unrevealed side face up if it's a location. Investigators may be instructed to slide rows to the left and right. To do so, slide each card in that row once in the indicated direction. Each card at those locations, Open Sky move as well. Any cards that move outside of the established columns are placed on top of the Summit deck. Some locations can't be moved. If instructed to slide cards in a row and there's a location in that row that can't be moved, leave that location in place and skip it, moving the card that would enter its space into the nearest gap created. Then we've got Storm Intensity, which, similar to stuff like the alarm level in Dream Eaters or stealth level in other scenarios, I think there's one or two where they use stealth level. It doesn't have any game effect on its own, but other cards can and will interact with it. Location adjacency, as usual, orthogonal adjacency. I think that's everything on initial setup. So, yeah, let's go through. So we also get Expedition encounter cards. Let's look here. I'm going to give a skill test on a glyph or relay. Wait, no, not. Oh yeah, this is the Expedition. So I may choose an item asset from the Expedition encounter set to begin in play under their control. Let's see. I'm going to give Nathaniel the Expedition gear. And I'm going to give Lucius the alien tablet. Looking at the Expedition gear, as an action, spend a supply to heal a damage from an investigator at your location. As a fast action, we can remove Expedition gear from the game to move a non-elite enemy at your location or a connecting location once in any direction. Then for the alien tablet, it's got 4 secrets. During a skill test on a glyph or relay card, exhaust alien tablet and spend a secret. The performing investigator gets +2 skill value for this test. Nathaniel will be our lead investigator once again. And we are going to look at the rest of our stuff up here. We can get the Expedition out of the way at this point. We'll give the encounter deck a quick shuffle. Then we've got Otherworldly Storms. The clouds around Relay crackle with alien energy as a storm picks up. Each non-weakness enemy may enter or leave Open Sky as if it were an open location. Oh, that's delightful. Each location is connected to each location and Open Sky adjacent to it. Forced. When an investigator's location would leave play, move that investigator to any central location. They take 2 direct damage. Then we've got Searching the Spires. The alien skyline calls to you, brimming with ancient secrets. As an action, we can spend X clues to reveal X clues from the bottom of the Summit deck. You may put one revealed location into play in an adjacent Open Sky and move to it. Place that Open Sky card and each other revealed card on top of the Summit deck in any order. Objective: if each surviving investigator is at Central Spire, advance. Then we've got Western Winds. Western gales howl with the fury of the cosmos. Forced. When the round ends, reveal tokens from the Chaos Bag equal to the storm intensity, which starts off at 1. If a non-Elder Sign symbol token is revealed, shuffle the rightmost Open Sky and Summit locations in rows 2 and 4 and place them on top of the Summit deck, or place them in the Victory display instead if they have Victory X and no clues on them. Each enemy, token, and attachment at those locations Open Skies are discarded. Slide each Open Sky and Summit location in rows 2 and 4 once to the right. Place the bottom card of the summit deck in each gap created and flip. Okay. So now we've got Relay Streets to look at. Relay Central. Fetid seawater pools in the ancient streets, stinking of dead fish and rotting detritus. There is a funereal air in the sleeping city, a feeling of deep loss and dread. That flips into Shroud of Two. Holy crap, 6 clues. So, all right. Relay Streets cannot be moved or leave play. As an action, spend 1 to 3 resources. Place that many clues from the token pool on any revealed location. Limit once per round. Okay, just going to make sure. Looking at my hand, everything looks good there. Everything looks good here as well. So, now I'm declaring start of game. So, Strength 8 happens. When the game begins, each investigator may play an asset from their hand at -2 cost. I think with that in mind, Nathaniel is going to spend -2 cost. He's actually going to play... He's got Safeguard, Greta, and Ruby to choose from. I think my actual play is going to be Greta. I was thinking about playing Ruby, but I think I'm going to play Greta right away. 5 cost to play, lore and combat on commit. You get +1 combat, and after you defeat an enemy, exhaust Greta and deal 1 damage to her. Discover 1 clue at your location, with iron and salt, with water and fire. Lucius is also going to play an ally at -2 cost. His ally coming out is Homeboy Milan, here in the party. +1 lore. After you successfully investigate, gain a resource. While I truly pray that this nightmare is just a singular abomination, I must admit that I am exhilarated by the possibility that this is but one specimen of a new genus. And with that being said, we are all set to jump right into the action here. So Lucius is actually going to start us off with action 1. He's going to investigate. He's 5 to 2. He's up 3. Skull is -X, where X is the current storm intensity. That's 1, so that'll get Lucius a clue. And a resource from Milan, as I will actually pay attention to that. Action 2, he'll run it back. Elder Sign is +1 for each enemy at your location. There are no enemies here, but he will get another clue along with a resource. Action 3, is that as a... Nope, it's a singular action. He'll run it back. Skull again. So that'll get Lucius a 3rd clue. And another resource, and that'll be it for Lucius. Nathaniel would be investigating it even, which... Sure, we'll investigate. Hey, 0 gets Nathaniel a clue as well. Action 2, he'll run it back. Yeah, he'll run it back. -1 fails. Action 3, he'll take the location off the... He'll take a location. He'll spend a clue and do an adjacent open sky. So yeah, we're gonna spend a clue to reveal a card from the bottom of the summit deck. I think I set that up as being, yep, there we go. Left shift, so we can pick an adjacent open sky and... All right, so reveal X cards from the bottom of the summit deck. You may put 1 revealed location into play in an adjacent open sky. So this is our location. We've got the dazzling skyline. Nathaniel will have to take a horror from revealing it. Okay. After you reveal dazzling skyline, take a horror. So he's going to put that over top of this open sky, and he's going to move to it. He's going to put that down there. Nathaniel will move to it. Right? Yes. Okay, you may put run revealed. Yep. Okay. So the open sky gets out of the way. And then that'll do it for Nathaniel. That'll do it for the investigation phase. Enemy phase, obviously no enemies in play to start with. So now we're doing upkeep. Nathaniel finds a second wind. As for Lucius, he's drawing intel report. Discover one clue at your location. We might actually just use that this round. So that was upkeep. Mythos, we put our first Doom on the agenda. Actually, wait a second before we do that. When the round ends. Okay, so reset that for a second. We've got to reveal a token. We'll have Nathaniel do that. Okay, so we reveal a non-elder sign symbol, which means we shuffle the rightmost open sky and summit locations, which we've got 3 summits. Yep, so we shuffle those. Oh wait, just in rows 2 and 4. Right, yes. So rightmost open sky, summit in rows 2 and 4 and place them on top of the summit deck. So that one's going to the top of the summit deck. Slide each open sky and summit location in rows 2 and 4 once to the right. So open sky, summit, summit, and hold on. When an investigator's location would leave play, so I think Nathaniel moves with it. So I think Nathaniel stays there, which is going to split them up. And then we take a location from the summit deck and we put it there. Just making sure I've got that straight. When an investigator's location would leave play, except the Dazzling Skyline didn't leave play. Okay, so now we go to the Mythos phase. First Doom on the agenda. Nathaniel will draw. Cyclopean Architecture. Test Lore X, where X is your location's printed shroud. For each point you fail by, choose and discard 1 card from your hand to a max of 3. He had an unprecedented dream of great Cyclopean cities of Titan blocks and sky-flung monoliths. H.P. Lovecraft, The Call of Cthulhu. Fortunately, Nathaniel's at a wait a minute. That should have been, hold on. Oh. Okay, yeah, we've got problems there. So Nathaniel is up 1. Rune is -1 for each open sky adjacent to your current location. That is 2, so Nathaniel's lore will drop to 0, so he will fail, which means we'll have to choose and discard a card. I think that's going to be a second wind. As for Nathaniel, he's got a Hunting Night Gaunt. Oh, that's fun. So 3-4-1, Hunter. When attempting to evade Hunting Night Gaunt, double the negative modifier of each revealed Chaos token. They had no faces at all to smile with, but only a suggestive blankness where a face ought to be. H.P. Lovecraft. Right. Okay, so... Alright, that brings us back to the investigation phase. Nathaniel's first action is going to be to try to evade this Hunting Night Gaunt. He's at a 5-1, he's up 4. Skull is, so double the negative modifier of each revealed. So that's actually a -2, because that's to the, oh wait, we also needed to flip this card. So Eastern wins. Okay, so it's actually going to blow us back and forth, it looks like. So now we've got Eastern winds coming after us. Anyway, back to this. X is the current storm intensity, which is 2, which is actually 1. So the modifier is -2. We do evade the Hunting Night Gaunt. And then checking his ability, we evaded an enemy by 2 or more, which we just barely did. So we'll flip over, so we'll grab a clue. Let's see, then, as an action, I'm going to spend 2 clues, I think, to take the top two locations, to take the bottom two locations of the summit deck. Oop. Other shift. There we are. All right, so we can reveal those and an adjacent open sky and move to one of them. We've got Ancient Canyons. Or a Suspended Reef. I'm going to put the Ancient Canyons into play. Right. Yes, you may put one revealed location into play in an adjacent open sky. So I'm actually going to put the Ancient Canyons into play. And then I'm going to put that right over here. And then if you reveal this location, test agility 1. Lucius is up 4. That's a -2, so he will pass. All right, if he failed, we're not going to bother with that. That was action 1. Actually, that was action 2. Action 3, he's going to grab the set aside. Actually, he's... Looks like it's an action, just put the set aside Sky Relic asset into play under your control. So he's going to do that. All right, so we've got the Sky Relic. If Sky Relic would leave play, remove it from the game. As an action, test Agility 8. Double the skill icons of each card committed to this skill test. If you succeed, flip this card and resolve its text. Let's see, he's got agility he can use for it. Okay, he didn't discover the last clue of the location yet. That'll do it for Lucius. Nathaniel... might as well investigate. He's up 1. Skull is -1, so that gives him, so that lets him pass. Action 2. He is going to move down to Lucius. That way he can help out with this test if we need to. And action 3. He's going to draw a card. Something worth fighting for. Okay. Let's see. That is on a... Okay, that is a glyph card, so we can use alien... So Lucius could use Alien Tablet on it, and he might. Enemy phase, nothing happening here. The Night Gaunt will wake up, though. We'll do upkeep. 1-2 punch, so we've got options here. This is what Nathaniel draws. Lucius will draw Hyper Awareness. And then the Hunting Night Gaunt wakes up. So now we need to draw... We need to reveal a token from the cast bag because that's our current storm intensity. And another skull. So this time we're shuffling everything. We're shuffling 1 and 3 on the left, but Relay can't move. So that's moving to the top of the summit deck. Then we're sliding each open sky and summit over. Shuffle the leftmost open sky. So actually I think is that shuffle the leftmost open sky. And locations 1 and 3. All right, so wait a second. So all open sky. If instructed to slide cards in a row and there's a location that can't be moved, moving the card that would enter its space into the nearest gap created. All right, so it looks like we only have the 1 card there. And then we flip that back. Western wins again. Second Doom on the agenda. Nathaniel will draw. Corrosive Fog. Either test Lore or Combat 4. If you fail, take a damage. If you fail by 3 or more, instead deal 1 direct damage to your investigator and each ally and item asset you control with health. Obviously, Nathaniel is going to test combat. He's at a 6 to a 4. He is up 2. Rune is -0, actually, because there's no open sky adjacent, so he will pass that with no problem. Nathaniel, looking at on Wings of Darkness. Revelation, test agility 4. Excuse me. If you fail, take 1 and 1. Then disengage from each non-Nightgaunt enemy engaged with you and move to a central location. A Nightgaunt swoops down from the sky and grabs you with its clawed hands, carrying you off into the night. So he's up 1. We'll commit the Fox Mask to go up 2. Skull is still a -1, so we're clear there. Okay, so that's it for the Mythos phase. Now we're back into the investigation phase once again. I think Lucius will lead us off. He's going to investigate for action 1. He's at a 4-5 to a 3. He's up 2. A 0 gets him the last clue, which will also take a resource off of Plumb the Depths. Oh, that's looks like it's as an obsession. Okay. Action 2. Action 2, I think he's going to try the test on Sky Relic. So he's initiating a skill test. He's going to activate the alien tablet and exhaust it, so he's at a 7. Nathaniel's going to commit Ruby. That's double the skill icons of each card committed, so that's a +4. 7 and 4 is 11. Lucius is up 3. Skull is a -1, so he passes. We flip the Sky Relic. All right, Sky Relic. Twisting a hidden knob in the relic's base releases a shower of sparks. You nearly drop the relic from surprise, but the sparks are merely random pinpricks of light and thick clouds of fog that shift like oil on water. The more you look at them, the more they resemble constellations, patterns of distant stars. The projection looks nothing like the constellations you've seen before, however. You discover the following glyph. In your campaign log, record stars under that glyph on the glyph record. This glyph has been translated. Add this card to the victory display. So let's see if I can draw this out. All right, so something like that. And base like that. Okay. So that gets added to the victory display. Action 2. We might have to kill the... We might have to go back and kill this Night Gaunt, actually. Actually, you know what? No, we don't need to do that. So that was action 2 to take that test. Action 3, I am going to leave Nathaniel here. He's probably going to try to deal with this Night Gaunt on his turn. Or on his next turn. Action 3, I think Lucius is going to move up here to the Dazzling Skyline. That'll be it for Lucius. Actually, better idea. I'm going to leave him down here. So I'm not going to move him. Action 3 will be 4 resources to play Intel Report and discover a clue at a location up to 2 locations away. So that's going to give him another clue off of Plumb the Depths. Fortunately, the Hunting Night Gaunt doesn't have prey, so I can give that to anybody I want to, which will be Nathaniel. So Nathaniel needs to stay put in that case. Action 1, I think, is going to be to pay 2 resources to play out a Safeguard. So after another investigator moves from your location to a connecting location, exhaust Safeguard to move with him. Keep an eye out for any trouble, she told me. I rolled my eyes. There was always trouble. Action 2 is going to be to take a resource. And action 3 is going to be to draw a card. Ugh, that was gross. Ugh. Tommy Malloy only. Or Tommy Malloy, Prey Nathaniel only. Hunter, forced. When Tommy Malloy would take any amount of damage, reduce that damage to 1. They call him the Big Palooka. Nathaniel calls him Scum. I'm inclined to agree with Nathaniel on that one. That plan kind of blew up in my face. That's it for the investigation phase. So now we're into the enemy phase. And the hunting night gaunt. That kind of changes my turn more than a little bit because I wanted to deal with the... Because I wanted to have Nathaniel deal with the hunting night gaunt, but I think Lucius... I think I got to give it to Lucius. Because Nathaniel is going to get rocked, and he has got to deal with Tommy Malloy right now. Lucius will take 1 and 1. And that'll bring us into upkeep. Actually, Nathaniel also takes 2 damage. Now upkeep phase. Daring. Okay, I don't hate that. Lucius will draw Ethereal Slip. Choose a non-elite enemy at a revealed location up to 2 connections away. Swap places with that enemy. Now we're drawing another token for Western Winds. That is the 3rd phase in a row that I've drawn a skull. Well, we do have an we do have an extra skull in the bag from the tarot. All right, so rightmost open sky summit locations in 2. So we're over here. Slide each open sky once to the right. Oop. That should... Hold on. Something's not right. I think I forgot to fill in gaps here. So that should still be there. That should be there. Okay. Now the open sky in row 2. Everything slides. Yep, everything slides once to the right. And then the bottommost on the summit deck. All right. And then we flip that back over. So we've got Eastern Winds again. Mythos phase, we are advancing. Only the one agenda. Psychic Storm. There is more to this storm than just bad weather. As the gales howl around you, the alien landscape buckles and shifts before your very eyes, blurring your vision. When you regain focus, the skyline looks unfamiliar. If the current storm intensity is 6+, each surviving investigator is defeated and suffers 1 physical trauma. Otherwise, add 1 resource to the current storm intensity and flip. So it's most definitely a clock. And that will adjust it for both copies at the play areas. All right, Nathaniel for the Mythos card. Oh, come on. A Star Vampire 2, 4/5/1. Hunter Relentless, so it's going to attack twice. Prey most remaining health. After this enemy attacks, heal 1 damage from it. Oh, that's great. We're getting swarmed. Lucius. Oh boy. Well, this could be a short. This could be a short scenario. Primeval Terror. 2s across the board. Can't make attacks of opportunity. While engaged with this enemy, you may enter open sky as if it were a location. If you defeat or disengage from this enemy while at open sky, you are defeated and suffer 1 physical trauma. Yuck, yuck, yuck. As if we didn't have enough problems on our hands. Well, yeah, this is a thing. So we've got, to put it mildly, ladies and gentlemen, we have got a mess on our hands. The question is, how do we even fix this? Actually, we also take a damage on toe of the line. Yep. So I think what I wanted to do... yeah. Okay, so that's where we want to be. I think we have to devote this turn to dealing with Tommy Malloy. Nathaniel can't take 3 damage every round. So I think he's going to start off with 2 resources to play a 1-2 punch, which is going to let him fight, +1 combat for the attack. If you succeed, you may fight that enemy again. You get +2 combat and deal +1 damage for that attack. Nathaniel is renowned for his rapid left jab and right cross-signature move. So that puts him at a... So 5, 6, 7 to 2. Nathaniel's up 5. Skull is -2. Okay, so that's a damage on Tommy. And then we get to fight again with +2 combat. So this time we're at 6, 8 to 2. We're up 6. Cultist is -4. If this test fails, place 1 doom on the nearest enemy, which we don't fail. So that'll be another damage on Tommy, thankfully. So that was action 1. And since we dealt damage, well, wait a minute. Since when you deal damage to an enemy by an event or a fight ability on an event, deal 1 additional damage. So when he would take any amount of damage, reduce that damage to 1. I don't think that'll work here. Action 2, he's gonna just do a normal fight. He's at a 6 to 2. He's up 4. Rune is -1 per open sky, which is none. So Tommy Malloy can get bent. Now to the Star Vampire. I don't want to attack it until I can kill it in the same turn. I want to try to kill it in one shot. So I think I'm just going to try to evade him. Nathaniel is up 1. Rune is a 0, so we managed to evade it. Alright, that'll do it for Tommy. Lucius now has got problems on his hands. Well, as action 1, we'll start with trying to evade the Primeval Terror. Lucius is up 3. Which a +1 will evade that. I think Lucius is almost going to have to stay so we can try to deal with some of this mess. Action 2, he'll try to evade the Night Gaunt, up 4, but we double negatives. Which a 0 is not. Lucius... Oh, alright. We're going to play Blackjack. 20 or a bust. Run it 1 at a time. Reveal random tokens from the chaos bag until you choose to stop. Each bad symbol's a 5. The tentacle's a 10. And the elder sign is either 1 or 11, depending on if you'd bust. If the combined value of these tokens, ignoring positive or negative, is 18 or less, gain 4. 19, gain 5. 20, gain 6. 21, gain 9. Alright. So that's a 5, 7, 18, and I think that's where we're going to stop. That'll give me, let's see, right now that's an 18. Yeah, I think that's where I'm going to stop. Oops. Well, I pulled 1 more. Fortunately, it was a 0. So that'll give me 4 resources. Let's see, evading... Actually, he had to evade both enemies. So, yeah, that'll do it for the investigation phase. Enemy phase, we evaded all of our enemies, and now we're doing upkeep. Nathaniel will draw another something worth fighting for. Lucius will draw more blackjack. So now we got to figure out where I want these enemies to go. Let's give the Star Vampire to Nathaniel. He can probably evade that easily enough. Then we're going to give the Night Gaunt also to Lucius. Nathaniel can take the Primeval Terror. Nathaniel's probably going to try to deal with this Primeval Terror. Lucius is going to plan on running away from both of these. End of round, we've got to reveal another... We got another reveal another token. I'm going to shuffle the bag just so I get theoretically a chance to reveal something different. A -1. Okay, so we're not just revealing skulls. First doom on the agenda. Nathaniel, looking at Eyes of the Deep. Revelation, put Eye of the Deep. Put Eye of the Deep into play in your threat area. Limit 1 per investigator. Treat a cultist and a rune as if it were an elder thing. As an action, test will 3. If you succeed, discard Eye of the Deep. Alright, so we've seen the cultist. Let's see the elder thing. -2, if there's an enemy at your location, reveal another token. Oh, great. Lucius. St. Elmo's Fire. Attach St. Elmo's Fire to the nearest location without St. Elmo's Fire attached, which is here. Forced. When the round ends, each investigator at this location takes 1 damage. Attach St. Elmo's Fire to an adjacent location with investigators if able. So basically, we need to get out of here pronto. Into the investigation phase once again. And yeah, we're not looking good to start this. So... I hate the idea of wasting a vicious blow on this Primeval Terror and Morning Jester. Yeah, this is getting pretty rough. Okay, so we've got to attach St. Elmo's Fire to our location. Basically, we need to get the hell out of here is what we need to do. What's the unrevealed side on Summit? When I would enter this location, if I don't control the Obsidian Claw, I either spend a clue or test Agility 2, and if I fail, I cancel the effects of the move. Does Nathaniel have clues? He's got a clue. So I think he's actually going to move up to the summit. He's going to spend the clue so he doesn't have to take the test, because he'd be testing even, trying to get into the location. So I'll flip Suspended Reef over to find that after we end our turn here, we either discard a card at random or take a damage. During your turn, spend a clue. Choose an enemy at a summit location up to 3 connections away. Swap places with the chosen enemy, ignoring its location's forced effect. Okay. Okay, now I think I'm a little bit warmer to the idea of using a Vicious Blow on the Primeval Terror. Because if I can defeat it, I can use Greta to get one of the clues off the location. So that puts me at 7 because of Greta. To 2, I'm up 5. A +1 will tell the Primeval Terror to go away. I'll deal a damage to Greta and exhaust her to grab a clue. And then action 3. We've got the Dazzling Skyline over here. I think I'm going to move over here so that I don't have the... Where am I playing? Ivan, I'm playing this on Tabletop Simulator, in case you're wondering what this is. There's a mod that's fan maintained that I'm using for this. Normally I'd be playing cards and dice, but I've got the next game in my 2001 season replay and payoff pitch baseball setup on the table, so I'm using TTS instead for the winter campaign. Anywho, I think we moved, so let's see, what was it? Fight. Yeah, it was definitely fight. We moved, and we should have one more action left. I know it was fight. trying to remember what we did here. Okay, yeah. Fight, spend a clue, and action 3 is going to be to draw a card. Finding if it bleeds. I could have used that. Play after you defeat a monster enemy. Each investigator at your location. That's a fast. Play after you defeat a monster enemy. Each investigator at your location heals horror equal to that enemy's horror value. Let's see if the plan of leaving Lucius here works out. Action 1. Action 1, he's going to try to evade the Star Vampire. He's at a 5 to a 1. He's up 4. Yeah. Elder Sign is +1 for each enemy at your locations. That's a +2, which will evade the Star Vampire. Action 2, he's going to try to evade the Night Gaunt. Up 4, but doubling negatives. Which the Cultist is... Holy crap. Remember, we double negatives. The cultist is a -4, but it's a -8. If this test fails, place 1 doom on the nearest enemy, which the nearest enemy is either the Night Gaunt or the Star Vampire, which is going to be going on the Night Gaunt. Very good for this. Also check out Dragon Cards for this game. That's Dragon Cards without the O in the name. Thanks for that, Jester. And Ivan, if you're interested in checking out Dragon Cards specifically for Arkham, I actually made a video on my channel scrutinizing Dragon Cards for Arkham LCG. Well, I'm getting a little bit spoilerific, but go watch the video if you want to see my thoughts on Dragon Cards. I'm going to try to be diplomatic about that. I know Jester's a big fan of Dragon Cards, at least for Marvel Champions, so I'm going to take the diplomatic route on this one. Action 3 is going to be to run the... Well, I don't think the evade even matters here. Do we care about... I don't think we care about taking the attack of opportunity. I want to get out of here, though. So action 3, I'm going to initiate a move action, which will trigger an attack of opportunity from the Night Gaunt, taking 1 and 1, but I don't want to be around for St. Elmo's Fire. Yeah, so we'll move over to the summit. Lucius has plenty of clues to spend, so he will. So he doesn't have to take the agility test. He could probably pass the agility test, but no need for that. So we've got the hanging ship. Oh, yikes. Okay, forced after you end your turn at this location at the Shroud of 2 and 4 clues. After you end your turn at this location, test agility 4, or test agility X, where X is the number of investigators at this location. If you fail, discard hanging ship to the top of the summit deck. As an action, each investigator at this location spends a clue. Slide hanging ship once into an adjacent open sky. Except we've got no adjacent open sky right now. You actually never tried Dragon Cards with Arkham Horror, only Marvel Champions and Lord of the Rings, so you'll defer to my expertise for Arkham Horror in this case. So yeah, if you want to see what I think of Dragon Cards for Arkham Horror in particular, Ivan, video is on my channel. Go check that out after this one. Although I will be going live a little bit later today with another Arkham-related video because I'll be doing upgrades coming out of this scenario. Let's see, so that'll do it for Lucius. That'll do it for the investigation phase. Enemy phase, he does get slapped for 1 and 1. I will take the damage. Actually, I can take all of that. Then St. Elmo's Fire, that's at the end of the round. So hold on to that thought for the time being. Now we do upkeep. Okay, Nathaniel finds a counterpunch. Fast, play after an enemy attacks you, even if that attack was canceled. Fight attack targeting the attacking enemy. For Lucius, he will find the Occult Lexicon. That's late to the party. Fortunately, the Star Vampire didn't move because we did manage to exhaust it. Round ends, so we've got to draw another wind card. Or we draw another token for wind. That's a -1. Okay. Mythos phase, we are advancing because we've got 1 doom in play on the Night Gaunt. So we'll take that out. Reset that. flip this over, and we are adding another resource to the current storm intensity, so we're up to 3. For Nathaniel, Cunning Mimicry. Revelation, if there are no monster enemies in play, Cunning Mimicry gains Surge, and of course the Star Vampire and the Hunting Night Gaunt are both enemies. So we test Lore 3, and Nathaniel is down 1 on that. Let's see if he's got any lore he can commit. He does not. Daring does have 3 wild cards on it, but I can only use that for an attack or evasion against an enemy. So Nathaniel down 1. -2, of course, fails, so he gets attacked by the nearest monster, which the nearest monster is actually the Night Gaunt, so Nathaniel's got to take 1 and 1. Which will also put a damage on Toe the Line, which is his task asset. Lucius, Lost in the Clouds. Oh, yikes. See you tonight about 7:30 for our preview show of our top 100 games of all time. Excited to talk about that. It's your Super Bowl each year. Biggest and best event on the channel. Catch you later for that, Jester. So yeah, that'll be something that we'll be doing later tonight. That's 7:30 Eastern time, right? Or that's, yeah, 7:30, 7:40 Eastern time, right? Coming back to Lost in the Clouds, yikes. I either have to place a doom on the current agenda. This effect can cause the current agenda to advance, so of course it's got the Ancient Evil's clause. Each investigator takes 2 direct horror, yuck, and resolve the forced effect on the Eastern or Western Winds story card as if you had drawn a non-Elder Sign symbol token. Well, we just wiped the agenda, so I'm going to put a doom on the agenda. I think that's the best of all absolutely terrible options right now, because 2 direct horror would put Lucius 1 from defeated by sanity. It wouldn't put Nathaniel in a real good spot either. Actually, I just realized I probably could have played that 8 Eastern time. Okay, so the show starts at 8 Eastern time. I just wanted to make sure I had the time zones straight. Okay, so that will actually be starting at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Okay, just making sure I've got that straight. Catch you later, Jester. I probably could have played Counterpunch against the attack on the Star Vampire. But like I said, I don't want to try to work on that until I'm ready to take it out in one shot. So, that brings us back to this current disaster. I don't think I ever did the test after I ended Nathaniel or Lucius's turn here, so I'll test that here real quick. So he's up 4. That's a skull, which is -3. So the skull is starting to get a little... The skull is starting to get more than a little dodgy here. But we do pass. Let's see. Lucius's first order of business is going to be to evade the Hunting Night Gaunt. He is up 4, once again doubling negatives. Tentacle touched. Can't double out your way out of that. Just got 3 boxes of games in, tons of new stuff to play this year, and some good old ones. Star Wars Rebellion, not great solo, but it was only $40, so had to get it. That's fair. Especially you also play with more people than I do. Anywho, Action 2 will run the evasion back. A 0 will get away from the Hunting Night Gaunt, and since we succeeded by 2 or more, we do get to discover a clue. Action 3, Lucius is going toodaloo. He is getting the hell out of Dazzling Skyline. That is it for Lucius. Nathaniel has got nothing to do here, really. Action 1, actually, I take that back. He's got a supply that he's going to use to heal a damage from himself. Then, actually, we're not in just dire straits. Action 2, he's going to spend 3 resources to play a something worth fighting for. That's just a 3 damage. That's a 3 horror soak is what that is. Action 3. He is going to draw a card. There's another if it bleeds. All right, that'll do it for the investigation phase. Enemy phase, the Star Vampire is going to move over to the hanging ship. So we've got a mess on our hands coming up. And that'll bring us into upkeep phase, where Nathaniel will draw another counterpunch. Lucius is drawing a forensic kit. All right, second doom on the agenda. Also, the hunting Nightgaunt wakes up. Nathaniel, crumbling masonry. As an action, test agility X, where X is your location's printed shroud. If you fail, take 2 damage. He said that the geometry of the dream place he saw was abnormal, non-Euclidean, and loathsomely redolent of spheres and dimensions apart from ours. H.P. Lovecraft, The Call of Cthulhu. Agility 1. So Nathaniel is up 1. And he's got... I think we're just going to test up 1. -1 clears it. Okay, that's actually kind of helpful. Oh yeah, that'll be very helpful. Lucius, looking at corrosive fog. He's going to test lore, and that's going to be a 6. That's going to be a 5 test, actually. If you fail, take a damage. If you fail by 3 or more, instead deal 1 direct damage to your investigator and each ally and item asset you control with health. Okay, so Lucius is at lore 5. He's up 1, which is a -1, so we're clear there. Nope, need to draw another token. All right, I don't think that was not a glyph or a relay card. All right, so Mythos and investigation phase. Lucius, our only open sky so far is over here. So we need these to shift. Action 1, Lucius is going to move up to this summit location. He's going to spend a clue so he doesn't have to take the test. Another dazzling skyline takes a horror. Action 2, he's going to investigate. He's up 4. Actually, yeah, he's up 4. -2 gets him the only clue on the location. It also gets him another obsession off Plumb the Depths. Action 3, he is going to spend another clue to move over to this summit. Suspended Reef. Shroud of 3, 2 clues. It's the same thing that we've got down here. Oh, and this should have gone off, which would have moved over here. All right, he is going to be ending his turn at the Suspended Reef, so he will take a damage. As for Nathaniel, he's not going to go into St. Elmo's Fire. Action 1, he's going to move up to the dazzling skyline. Action 2, he's going to... Actually, no, hold on. I need to do this in another order. Action 1, he's actually going to spend a resource to play Second Wind. So only as his first action, he's going to heal 2 damage since he drew a Treachery this round. Then draw a card. Boxing Gloves, those are a sight for sore eyes. Action 2, he'll take a resource. Action 3, he's going to move up to the dazzling skyline. That'll do it for Nathaniel. That'll do it for the investigation phase. Enemy phase, both of these guys are moving toward Nathaniel. Then we will do upkeep. Vicious Blow, very welcome for Nathaniel. As for Lucius, Pathfinder, okay, not totally unwelcome. Mythos phase, we are advancing again. So that'll put another storm intensity on the agenda. Nathaniel, Another Eyes of the Deep. Fortunately, he's already got one in play, and this specifies limit 1 per investigator, so that can go away. Lucius has a Primeval Terror now. Fortunately, it can't make attacks of opportunity, so that's... Oh, we forgot to draw the token for the Western, for the winds. So we'll do that real quick. Okay. Which means we're probably playing out the... Occult Lexicon this turn. Alright, so that'll bring us into the investigation phase. And since this can't make attacks of opportunity, that sounds like a hell of a plan to me, to play out the Occult Lexicon. After it enters play, search your bonded cards for 3 copies of Bloodright. 1 to the hand, the other 2 go to the deck. When Occult Lexicon leaves play, find the Bloodrights and remove them from the game. So 1 Bloodright to the hand, the other 2 to the deck. Action 2 will be to play out a Bloodright, so draw 2 cards, discard up to 2 from your hand. For each card you discard this way, you may either gain a resource or spend a resource to deal 1 damage to an enemy at your location. Doesn't provoke attacks of opportunity. So 1, another Bloodright, and Eureka. We'll dump Lockpicks and Hyper Awareness. Spend 2 more resources to wipe out that Primeval Terror. Action 3, he is going to see if we can make continued progress on putting more Open Sky into play. So we're going to look at how many cards from the Summit deck are we going to look at? Let's look at 3. Start speeding our way through the deck. See if we can find the Summit. Let's see if we can find what location do we need. Central Spire. Well, that was easy. 2 and 3. Yeah, we're going to take the... It's the Central Spire that we need, and we need to get every surviving investigator there. So we did find the Central... So we found the Central Spire. And we can move to it. Shroud of 3, 4 clues. Central Spire can't be moved or leave play. As an action, spend 1 to 3 resources. Place that many clues from the token pool on any revealed location once per round. Okay, so I think I know what Lucius is doing on his turn. As for Nathaniel, are we going to charge him into that mess and have him fight in there? That seems kind of suicidal. Action 1, he's going to play Boxing Gloves. Get +1 combat while fighting. After you defeat an enemy, exhaust Boxing Gloves. Search the top 6 of your deck for a spirit event and add it to your hand, then shuffle. Okay. Action 2. We can start taking damage, but we can't... Well, actually, we've got Horror Soak now and something worth fighting for. St. Elmo's Fire is going to start going nuts soon, so I want to be very careful of that. Action 2. Prey, most remaining health. So the Star Vampire is definitely looking for Nathaniel. Actually, I think they're both going to be coming for Nathaniel. I definitely don't want to end my location or my turn here. Actually, we might be able to set up to take out this Star Vampire. The question is, how do I want to do that? So after it attacks, so each time it attacks, it heals 1 damage from it. So if it attacks, it's going to be healing 2 damage from it. So actually, I probably would have needed both Vicious Blows to take it out. I think I just try to stay ahead of it, or move it out of a location that's not going to suck to stay in. Let's see, I'd be doing... I don't have any events I'm attacking with right now. So... yeah, let's go down... This feels really stupid, but I'm going to go... It's only one horror, and the horror I can put on something worth fighting for to soak it up. So yeah, I think that's fine. I'm trying to figure out how I just avoid disaster here. Which this is probably not the smartest thing to do, but action 3, we will attack the Night Gaunt. So we're going to commit Vicious Blow to go 5, 6, 7 to 3 up 4 while attempting to evade. Okay, so we don't double negatives for this attack. -1 will put 2 damage on the Night Gaunt. So 2 damage there. So 2 damage on the Night Gaunt. That'll do it for Nathaniel. That'll do it for the investigation phase. Enemy phase. The Night Gaunt is dealing 1 and 1, which I'll take the 1, put the horror on something worth fighting for. But now I'm going to use Counterpunch. So attack targeting the attacking enemy. So that's a 3. Nathaniel's going to be at a 6. 2 of 3, he's up 3 and will deal 2 damage because of his special ability. If he's able to defeat it, which a 4 it does not. We'll try again with the second Counterpunch. Excuse me. A -1, however, will. So that's 2 damage. Remember, that's once per round. So we do get rid of that. We do get rid of the Night Gaunt, at least. Unfortunately, the Star Vampire is going to do 2 damage. The reason it's doing 2 damage is it's essentially doing 2 attacks. So it attacks, then it attacks and exhausts, but Relentless lets it unexhaust, and then it'll exhaust to do another attack. So that's how we're shortcutting that, taking 2 damage. Gross. I'm a little annoyed that I needed all of that to get rid of the Star Vampire. Let's see, any other enemies? No, so we're doing upkeep. Emergency cash for Nathaniel. As for Lucius, we've got a disguise. Uses 4 supplies. As an action, we can spend a supply to evade. Get +2 agility for the evasion attempt. If we succeed and the evaded enemy is non-elite, it doesn't ready during the next upkeep. Mythos, first doom on the agenda. Nathaniel is finding acrophobia. Test will 1. This test gets +1 difficulty for each open sky adjacent to your location. For each point you fail by, you must either lose an action or take a horror. You shouldn't have looked down. All right, Nathaniel has... Oh, St. Elmo's Fire does go off. It comes up to Nathaniel. We need to get him out of here. Okay, so we've got no open sky adjacent to Nathaniel. Actually, could I have played... If it bleeds... we're not going to go with that I didn't. I probably wouldn't have needed to anyway, but I will commit... Actually, yeah. We'll commit it to go up 1. Skull is going to make a mess of that, so I will take a horror from that. We'll put that on something worth fighting for. Lucius is finding Wings of Terror. Put it into play in your threat area. After you fail a skill test, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until an enemy is discarded. Either draw that enemy or that enemy attacks you from the discard pile, then discard Wings of Terror. Well, this looks like trouble. Well, I think Nathaniel's plan here is... I think Nathaniel's on the Gitfo plan at this point. So we'll start off with him. Action 1, he's going to try to evade the Star Star Vampire. He's up... He's going to use Daring to go up 4. And it does gain Retaliate and Alert, but I need to be able to I need to pass this because I need to get out of here. Which the Elder Sign, +1 if the skill test is successful during an attack, which this is not. But it does solve our most immediate problem of getting away from the Star Vampire. Action 2, Toodles. Action 3, we've got 2 suspended reefs right there. We can take the damage, though, and I think we will have to. I want to try to stay ahead of that Star Vampire as much as I can. As for Lucius, his action 1 is going to be to burn the Midnight Oil. Before you investigate, gain 2 resources, and he'll play Eureka to go up. Let's see, he's at 5, 6, 2, 3. He's up 3. Rune is -1 for each open sky adjacent, which there is not, so that'll give him a clue. And we get to look at the top 3. Okay, Dreams of the Flood, I definitely don't want hyper awareness. Intel report. I don't even have to think about that. That does give him a resource. Action 2. Let's see, I have to bump the cost by 2 to discover 2 clues. Oop. Wings of Terror doesn't get discarded. Intel report will be getting discarded, though. So that'll be another 2 clues for Lucius. And then action 3 will be to play some more blackjack to fuel our heavy blood right habit. So this is the same card we played earlier. Let's see, 2, 13, 18, 19, and I think that's where we'll stop. We'll gain 5 resources. All right, that'll do it for Lucius. That'll do it for the investigation phase. Let's see, yeah, intel report and blackjack. Okay. Enemy phase, the Star Vampire doesn't do anything because he's exhausted, and then we do upkeep. Lucius is, now we get the Monster Slayer, which deals +1 damage. Lucius is drawing another Burning the Midnight Oil. 2 Doom on the agenda. Oh, end a round first. I'm doing terrible at remembering this. And a Cultist with Eastern Winds. Shuffle the leftmost Open Sky Summit. Leftmost Open Sky Summit. In rows 1 and 3. So Central Spire can't be moved or leave play. Shuffle. Okay, hold on. We might have a problem here because Nathaniel might be moving down to the Relay streets. I'll place that Open Sky card and the Summit deck. Oh no. Oh, so those should be on the Summit deck. We'll put those here. So those should have been in the Summit deck, so I'll shuffle those in. All right. Okay, so we are shuffling the leftmost Open Sky Summit locations. So we're shuffling, actually we're not doing anything here because we've got 2 locations that can't leave play. All right, slide each, yada, 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 and flip. So we've got Western Winds coming at us again. And now we've got 2 Doom on the agenda. And Nathaniel will find on Wings of Darkness. Oh, joy. Take 1 and 1, then move to a central location. Actually, the Central Spire would count, so here I don't mind being down 2. One and 1, and that'll move Nathaniel to the central Spire. So kind of a little bit cheesy, but central location is a central location. As for Lucius, he's got Crumbling Masonry. Test agility X, where X is your printed shroud, which is 3. If he fails, we take 2 damage. Lucius is up 2. Skull is -4, so he's going to fail that, take 2 damage, and that's going to make Wings of Terror go off. Discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until an enemy is discarded. Well, there's an enemy. It either spawns, either draw that enemy or it attacks him. We've got to have it. We've got to draw it because he can't take an attack from the discard pile. But we discard Wings of Terror. We do also advance, by the way, because each surviving investigator is at Central Spire. So we do get to advance at least. All right. The Sprawl. As you admire the skyline, you see the elephantine shape of a winged creature climbing up from below. You're being hunted. Spawn the set aside the inescapable enemy at Central Spire, exhausted and unengaged. Shuffle the rest of the inescapable encounter set into the deck along with the discard pile. Okay, so let's deal with that first. We need the inescapable. All right, so he's spawning at the... Okay, so he's spawning at Central Spire, exhausted and unengaged. The rest of the set goes into the deck along with the discard pile. So there's the rest of the set. Wait. Yes, okay. So that goes into the deck along with the discard pile. I'll give that a little more shuffling just to make sure we're all good there. Remove Relay Streets from the game, ignoring its text box. Shuffle each open sky and summit location in play except for the Central Spire into play. Okay. Right. In play except for Central Spire into the summit deck. Okay, so everything else is going back into the summit deck. Let's get the clues out of the way. Okay, so that'll discard the Star Vampire, which I'm not at all heartbroken about. It'll also discard St. Elmo's Fire. Also not heartbroken about that. Okay, we shuffle those in. Yes. Okay. Put 5 of the set-aside open sky cards into play as shown in the Act 2 location placement diagram in the campaign guide. Page 36. All right, so... Okay, so we're moving. Oh, these should have been shuffled in as well. And then Relay Streets gets removed from the game. So I'll move everything down here. Then we are taking, what did we say? 5 of the open sky. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's see. Fill each remaining row and column above, below, and to the right of the. Fill each remaining row above, below, and to the right of Central Spire with the bottom card of the summit deck until there are until it's a 3x5 grid. That's easy enough. Yep, the inescapable is down here with us as well. All right. Hold on. 3 rows and 5 locations. Okay, so these need to get out of the way. We need to move 1 more to the left. Okay. Yep, okay. So now we're good. There we go. All right. And then we shuffle the Ancient Dome and Aerial Waterfall along with each remaining set-aside open sky into the top 5 of the Summit deck. All right. Aerial Waterfall and Ancient Dome. Along with each other open sky into the top 5 of the Summit deck. All right, so here are the last 2 open skies. We'll take that. Actually, we'll take from the bottom of the deck. And then we'll turn that into the top 5 of the deck. All right. To the Ancient Dome. The ancient skyline calls to you, brimming with ancient secrets. Spend X clues to reveal X cards from the bottom of the Summit deck. You may put one revealed location into play in an adjacent open sky and move to it. Place that open sky and each other revealed card on top of the Summit deck in any order. Objective: each surviving investigator has resigned. Advance. Before we continue the scenario, I need to step away for a small break. There we go. Now, let's see if we can salvage this disaster somehow. Let's see, he's got... Ugh. He's got 6 health, does he? Unfortunately, Nathaniel used both of his vicious blows. He probably should have at least 3 more damage on toe the line. So we're going to go up to that. Well, Nathaniel or Lucius should be able to get the last clue off of that. But first thing he's going to do is he's going to use Bloodright. 1, And 2. Discard 1. Yeah, 2. Spend 2 more resources to wipe out this Primeval Terror. Actually, he could probably evade the Primeval Terror. Let's put 2 damage on the... Let's actually put the 2 damage on the Inescapable instead. We'll probably have to lean on Nathaniel trying to take him out. So yeah, we'll do that instead. Action 2, Lucius will try to evade the Primeval Terror. He's at a 5 to a 3. He's going to commit a Pathfinder to... Actually, he's at 5 to 2. He's going to commit Pathfinder to go up 4. And get Tentacle Touch, because of course he does. Action 3, he'll run it back. -2 evades the Primeval Terror. Unfortunately, it does still let him succeed by 2 or more, so he gets the last clue off the location, which takes another obsession off of Plumb the Depths. Let's see. Action 1 for Nathaniel. Let's see. Treat it... So treat it as if it was a... Let's see. What did Nathaniel draw for his turn? I don't think it was an enemy. I'm pretty sure it was a treachery, though. Oh, not that we have second wind in play. Never mind. Let's see. Action 1. Let's see. Tireless Pursuer. I think we're going to play Emergency Cash for 3 resources. Action 2, he's going to use Monster Slayer, dealing +1 damage for the attack, attacking the Inescapable. This would be doing, in theory, 3 damage. Let's see, 5, 6 to 4, he's up 2. Yep. Ooh, Elder Sign. +1, if the skill test is successful during an attack, return an event from your discard pile to your hand. Let's see, so he is going to be doing 3 damage here. What does he want? Let's see, we've got a choice of second wind, 1-2 punch, or counter punch. What do I think I'm most likely to need here? That's a once per phase, right? Yes. So we're going to be using it here. I think I want second wind here. I'm probably going to need to heal some damage. All right, so that's another 3 damage on the Inescapable. And then action 3, Nathaniel's going to try to wipe it out. He's up 2. And that's a -2. So the Inescapable will go to the victory display. And once again, Nathaniel continues to very much be the badass monster puncher of this team. That'll do it for Nathaniel. That'll do it for the investigation phase. Enemy phase, Nathaniel got rid of our biggest threat. So now we're doing upkeep phase. Finding fighting lessons. Commit only to a skill test during an attack or evasion, and you can commit this anywhere. As for Lucius, he's drawing another forensic kit. All right, upkeep, we're going to give that to Nathaniel, because he can probably take it out a bit more easily. I'm just going to reset these a little bit, so they anchor in place. All right, Mythos phase, we are advancing the agenda, which will put a 5th storm intensity up. Nathaniel will draw Wings of Terror. Fantastic. Lucius will also draw Wings of Terror. Great. Well, Nathaniel... I can't even play I can't even play Second Wind because it would trigger an attack of opportunity right now. I think action 1, we're going to go ahead and start punching the Primeval Terror. That 2 damage is going to stack up fast. Fortunately, we're up 4. That's a -1, so we deal a damage. Action 2 will run it back. Skull is -5, so we actually fail that. Action 3, here we go again. Another skull. Great. Oh, so actually, hold on. After the first attack failed, we would have triggered Wings of Terror. Discard until an enemy is discarded. Discard from the encounter deck. Either get attacked by it or draw it. We're going to get attacked by it. Action 3 will run the test back again. Wings of Terror also gets discarded. And the Elder Sign, since this is an attack, we do get an event back. And here I want... what do I think I want here? Give me Monster Slayer. Alright, that's it for Nathaniel. Over to Lucius, who is going to move over to... Actually, we're going to spend 3 clues to look at the bottom 3 of the summit deck. Alright, we can put those into an open sky. We've got a suspended reef, which I want nothing to do with. A hanging ship, which is probably workable, and the Eastern Athenium. Yeah, we'll take that one. Those go back on top of the summit deck. This open sky. Does the open sky go on top of the summit deck too? Yep. All right, so we'll put that there, and then we'll put that into play. That'll do it for... And actually, that... Okay, yeah, that'll be the last progress, assuming we have time to get the last clue. So that'll be it for Lucius in the investigation phase. Enemy phase, Nathaniel got rid of our enemy in play. And we do upkeep. There's a glory to draw 2 cards. Lucius will find Leo. Mythos phase, actually end of round, we've got to check this. Alright, that's a symbol. So, when the round ends, rightmost, open sky, and summit. Those go on top of the summit deck. Oh, just in 2 and 4. Never mind. Hold on. So I've got to put... So I've got to pull the open skies back out. So I've got to pull 2 of those back out. We only get the one which is more open sky. Great. Okay. Oh wait, those... So that open sky should have been there. Okay, so slide each open sky and summit, which that goes over here. Okay, now that I've got that sorted out, now we go into the Mythos phase. First Doom on the agenda. Nathaniel draws a Crumbling Masonry. Test Agility 3. Nathaniel is down 2. Actually, Nathaniel is down 1. Yeah, that's where he'll test. Rune is gonna make a mess of it already. That's a -2, so he will take 2 damage, which could be 1 from defeated by damage. Lucius, a monstrous star spawn. Oh, great. Hunter, massive retaliate. Or relentless. Prey, highest combat. When you reveal an Elder Thing token when fighting or evading this enemy, heal 1 damage from it, victory 1. Yikes. Okay, well. This is fun. Well, let's see if Lucius can evade the monstrous star spawn. He's up 3 trying. Skull is a -5, so his problems just keep getting worse, which also triggers Wings of Terror. So we discard until an enemy is discarded. If I have an attack, I have to put damage on Milan because otherwise it's going to defeat Lucius. Yeah. Action 2 will run the evade back. Action 3. So we at least don't just get rocked. Okay. That'll work. Nathaniel is going to move in for action 1. Actually, he drew a... What did he draw? He drew a treachery. So he's actually going to play as his first action, Second Wind. Oh, I wasn't paying attention to fighting lessons. But I will spend that to heal 2 damage and draw a card. There's a Beat Cop. Action 2, he'll move up to the Eastern Ethereum. Let's see, Prey highest combat. So I was actually looking for Nathaniel, which I don't mind. Action 3. He's going to punch it up 4. Which is a +1. That'll do a damage. Alright, that's it for Nathaniel. That's it for the investigation phase. Enemy phase. The monster star spawn is evaded, so we do upkeep. Nathaniel draws another set of boxing gloves. Lucius draws the Dream Diary. End of round, we draw a token for the winds. Not a symbol. Second Doom on the agenda. St. Elmo's Fire's back again. Also, the monster star spawn is awake again. Which St. Elmo's Fire is going to kill Lucius if he can't move. Lucius finds Cunning Mimicry. That's a monster. This might kill him anyway. Test Lore 3. He's at a 5-3. He's up 2. Rune is -1 per open sky adjacent. That's -1, so he's clear of that. Okay. We're at 5 storm intensity, so I think my priority here is going to be... to get this glyph. So, in order to do that, action 1 for Nathaniel is going to be to fight. 5, 6, 7. He's up 5 against the monstrous star spawn. -2 is another damage. Excuse me. Action 2. Excuse me, is going to need to run it back. 0 will do another damage. Action 3, he's going to use Monster Slayer to try to take it out. He would be doing 3 damage. If he can take it, he would be doing 3 damage because he's using an event. 1 for base, 2 because the card says so, and 3 because of his special ability. I think we're going to commit. So he's at 5, 6, 7 while fighting. He's up 5, and I think that's where... Yeah, that's where he'll test, up 5. Cultist treats that as... is treated as an Elder thing. Which... treated as an Elder thing, so yeah, it will heal a damage from the Star Spawn, which is unfortunate. We don't fail, though. Actually, if there's... we treat it as an Elder thing, so it's actually a -2 if we fail, reveal another token. If there's an enemy, reveal another token. Which gets us Tentacle Touched. Fantastic. Lucius is going to try to evade, and Nathaniel is going to pay attention to his hand. And remember that he can commit fighting lessons from anywhere. Aim and pull the damn trigger. It ain't hard, kid. Let's see. 5, 6, 7. 2, 2. Lucius is up 5 trying to evade. -1 will evade, and because he evaded by 4, he does get the clue off the location, along with the last obsession off Plumb the Void. So Lucius will be marking... we'll be marking a progress from Plumb the Depths, assuming he survives. Then as a group, we'll spend our 2 clues, which we just barely have 2 clues. And then we gain the glyph. Okay, so the glyph is something like a curve with that and something like that for plant. Then action 3, he's going to move back down to Central Spire because otherwise St. Elmo's fire is going to kill him when that goes off. Right, so that'll do it for the investigation phase. Enemy phase, the not monstrous star spawn is supposed to be dead here. So we are going to be doing upkeep phase momentarily. I don't think it really matters what we get, though. There's a daring for Nathaniel and a deduction for Lucius. That was very late to the party. Third doom. Actually, we don't just lose. We go up to 6 on the storm intensity. All right, Nathaniel is finding corrosive fog. Okay. So actually, did Nathaniel take... I think Nathaniel took damage this round, so he'll put that on toe the line. And then St. Elmo's fire will move back to Lucius. All right, testing combat 4. He's at 6, he's up 2. That's a -2, so we're clear there. Lucius, drawing Lost in the Clouds. Uh-oh. We just advanced the agenda, so I'm not crazy about putting Doom up there. Plus, we're also at 6 storm intensity. Do I feel like losing a turn? More importantly, do I have the luxury of caring? I'm going to put a Doom up. Let's see. Nathaniel is going to fight the monstrous star spawn. Massive Relentless. So yeah, he wants to try to kill that now. Action 1, he's going to commit daring to a combat test. 5, 6, 7 because of boxing gloves. 10. To 2, he's up 8. I'm mostly interested in the card draw here. So that'll be another damage on the star spawn, and we'll draw a card. 1-2 punch. Perfect timing. Let's go with a 1-2 punch here. So first, 5, 6, 7, 8 to 2 up 6. That'll do another damage. And then we can fight it again with +2 combat and deal +1 damage. So this time, he's at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to 2 up 7. Hey, we got rid of it. So the monster star spawn goes to the victory display. And he will play... Does it have horror damage on it? It did. So we are going to play... First we're going to play If It Bleeds to heal a horror. And then we'll play another... Actually, if it's a small comfort, but you'll take it. Then we'll play Glory, because why not, to draw 2 cards. Ding, ding, ding! Another Fighting Lessons. And Randall. Where has he been all game? Let's see, as for Lucius... yikes, we're trapped in the open air is our problem here. So we'll move... spend 1 to 3 resources. We're going to spend... As an action, we'll spend 3 resources to put 3 clues on the Eastern Athenium. Action 2, Lucius will move up. And action 3, he's going to investigate up 3. That'll get him a clue. Alright, that's it for the investigation phase. Enemy phase, Nathaniel got rid of our only enemy in play, so now we're doing upkeep. Interrogate. This is all but a dead card at this point, with no humanoid enemies in the play, and we've got Ethereal Slip for Lucius. Second Doom on the agenda. Nathaniel will draw Still Behind You. Come on. Test Agility 2. This test gets +1 difficulty for each copy of Still Behind You in the victory display. If you fail and the inescapable is in play, it moves 1 location at a time to your location and engages you. Not in play, search all in and out of play areas for the inescapable and draw it. Add Still Behind You to the victory display. Let's see, we are at even. We can't commit that because it's an evasion. Because this is not an evasion test. Randall will commit Forensic Kit to go up 1. Nathaniel will throw in Randall to go up 2. Hey, good plan. As for Lucius, Elder Mist. Attach. Great. So we've got another Whippoorwill effect. After an investigator, so -1 to everything. After an investigator at attached location succeeds by 2 or more, discard it. All right, Lucius for action 1 is going to investigate using Burning the Midnight Oil, and will commit deduction. So he is at 4. He's at 3. 4 to 1. He's up 3. Which a -2 is a success, but not by 2 or more. And this isn't sensitive to whether you how much you succeed by, just that you do. Then he'll spend the 3 clues to look at 3 locations in the summit deck. We've got 3 new locations here. We've got the Obsidian Cliffs. Then we've got Magnetic Spires. And the Hanging Ship. I think we'll grab the Obsidian Cliffs. Just because at this point, then we'll move over there. Shroud of 4, 2 clues. Action, choose an adjacent open sky. Test Lore 3. If you succeed, put the set-aside Glyph Orrery into play in the chosen open sky, placing that open sky on top of the summit deck and Victory 1. Let's see, that was Action 1. Action 2 was the clues. Action 3 will be to investigate. He's actually at even. Which is skull. Wait a second. Oh no, we're at 6. We're at 6 now. Okay, so that'll be it for Lucius's turn. Nathaniel. Action 1 is going to move over to the Obsidian Cliffs. Action 2, he'll spend 4 resources to play out a Beat Cop. +1 combat and discard Beat Cop to deal 1 damage to an enemy at your location. And then Action 3, he'll take a resource. Enemy phase, no enemies in play, so we do upkeep. Hallowed Mirror for Nathaniel. And Bloodright for Lucius. End of round, we draw for the wind. A 0, so we don't do anything there. Mythos phase, we put the last Doom on the agenda. And then we are at 6 storm intensity, so each investigator is defeated and suffers 1 physical trauma. And I know we've got the campaign guide in here because I saw it earlier. Here it is. All right, so we want to go to page 37, I think. Excuse me. Yep. All right, if no resolution was reached because each investigator was defeated. The poisonous gales howl through the blackstone corridors of the ancient city with all the force of a hurricane. As you are battered on all sides by stinging, sharp winds, the acrid vapors make your head spin with unsettling visions. The unearthly weather patterns seem to blow from somewhere far beyond, from an undimensioned plane of existence. You awaken to see your companions gathered around you. As they help you to your feet, you turn away from the brilliant skyline and the churning clouds. You have no memory of passing out. How did you even get here? In your campaign log, cross out Obsidian Canyons on the relay map. Each investigator must search the collection for a random madness or omen basic weakness and add it to their deck for the remainder of the campaign. I will deal with that. I'll deal with that when I do upgrades. I don't think there's going to be a formal upgrades video, but we'll check into that. If an investigator has the Prove Your Worth task, they resolve the story here. Neither one does. Each investigator earns experience equal to Victory X, which is 2 experience. Yep. And then check the campaign log. Since we headed east, we are going to Court of the Ancients next. That will be on the 18th next week. Let's bring it back up top to wrap the video up. So that'll do it for this second scenario of the winter campaign in Arkham Horror, the card game. We are going to the Court of the Ancients next. So that'll be next week. I don't think there's going to be a formal upgrade. I don't think there's going to be a full upgrades video because it's 2 experience. It'll be Nathaniel upgrading a Vicious Blow, Lucius upgrading a Deduction. So that'll be easy. We'll do the tarot reading right before the scenario as well. So the next time I go live, we'll be continuing my 2001 Payoff Pitch baseball season replay at Arlington Stadium in Arlington, Texas, where the Chicago White Sox are all set to play the Texas Rangers. Later tonight, as Jester was plugging in chat earlier, we are going to be shooting the preview show for our top 100 board games of all time. That will be starting on Thursday. And on a related note, the next 5 Wednesdays to account for that project are going to be spent continuing the 2001 season replay and Payoff Pitch baseball, since I will be losing Thursdays. I want to make up those nights that way. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications to get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care, everyone.